Hello, this is Bishop Frank Stewart, and welcome to the program Sowing Seeds into Men. What an exciting time to have this program to come to you that are looking at this YouTube. I'm believing that eventually we will be able to do this on a very large scale, write some of these things out, put them in the paper, and so that we can have a larger audience. I am interested in men and their leadership ability and their leadership call. And so today the seed is don't think it unusual when the buck stops with you. In other words, that is simply saying in the minds of children, in the minds of women that you're related to, they see you as the leader. They see you as the prime mover. And so the buck stopping with you simply means that people, when there's a challenge, people expect you to deal with it. They expect you to handle it. They expect, and you got to make a decision. I mean, I don't like the buck to stop with me all of the time, but it does stop with me. It stopped with me. I got grown kids and grandkids, and they're looking for me as the father. They're looking for me as the grandfather to come up with some kind of decision. So, don't freak out when people expect you to come up with a decision, because the president, in fact, the buck stops with me came from, I believe it was President Harry Truman, when he was the president of the United States in the 1940s. And I was just a little child, but I remember that, and that was his statement to the best of my knowledge. That was something that Harry S. Truman came up with. The buck stops here. In other words, the final decision, whether there is to be an atomic bomb. In fact, he was the one that the buck stopped with when Hiroshima in Japan in 1945 in August, when he decided, well, we have to do something to stop this ugly war between the United States and Germany and Japan. And there were so many people that had gotten killed, and this atomic bomb was created. And so he was the final man that had to make the decision, and it was a horrible decision. He said, but the buck stops with me as far as the decision is concerned. And in August of 1945, when that bomb was dropped by the Americans in Hiroshima, one day it just destroyed over 70,000 people, and at the same time, and then it injured over the 70,000 people. And then 3 days later, in Nagasaki, another one was dropped, and the Japanese didn't even stop fighting after the first one. They just kept fighting. They were so relentless. But after the second one, they signed a treaty. We need to have a peace treaty and stop fighting. But it was so horrendous, the damage it did and the lives it took. And people are still impacted by that. And that was over 60 years ago. And but Harry Truman could not lose a lot of sleep over it. The buck stopped with him. So the same thing in our life as men. When we're in charge, the final decision very often rests with us. So keep that in mind, gentlemen. And if you have any comments or suggestions, be sure to email me at frankstewart@zcfla.org. frankstewart@zcfla.org. And I would love to hear from you so that we can have a little dialogue. So may the Lord continue to bless you, and we trust we will be able to tap into each other again on the next YouTube broadcast. God bless you.